Hey guys, it's Trapper with Trip with Dad, where every trip becomes a story you'll tell for years. Something happens when you sit side by side with your kids versus face to face. Kids will talk more when they don't feel looked at. And think about this: boredom creates presence and is actually a good thing. There'll be times when you're sitting side by side in a boat. Maybe you're in a car or truck on going down the road. Maybe your kids are smaller and they still have to sit in the back seat, which is cool either way. But silence is not a bad thing. I mean, think about it. If you have any kind of a sales background, you may have been taught that he who speaks first loses. And that is very true even in this relationship with your kids. If you're going down the road and it is completely silent, a lot of kids can't stand that. Just kind of a clue coming into it. They will start talking, they'll start asking questions. And when you give an answer to their question, don't give them the full detailed 1,000-foot picture. Give them the 5-foot. Give them the easiest answer, the nicest answer. Your tone of your voice will make them decide whether they want to ask another question or just be quiet. I know that when my sons and I would go on trips and we'd go somewhere and drive somewhere, and there'd be times, half hour, 45 minutes, even a couple hours at one time. I remember where there was nothing said. There was no noise, just the wind going by on the windshield, and that was it. And that was okay. At the time, I was kind of wondering, like, are these guys having fun? Are they enjoying this? Or are they bored? Or, what's going on? Why I should be asking them something. And then finally it dawned on me that I just need to let them sit and enjoy and let them look out the window. There was times they might jump on their phone. Sometimes they had one, sometimes they didn't. Sometimes they'd be reading a book, or if your kids get, car sick, probably reading a book may not be the right thing, but my boys didn't, and so they would a lot of times read a book. Or flip through a magazine. I always had books and magazines on the trip for them to thumb through. Now, there's obviously fishing magazines for me, outdoor stuff like that, but sometimes they'd bring their own. I remember Diary of a Wimpy Kid was a big thing when my boys were growing up, and that they had every single book, and they brought a whole bunch of them on the trip with them. That's awesome. I don't mind that at all. Because when you're sitting there side by side, and all of a sudden a question pops up, maybe a word they don't understand in the book, and instead of looking up on their phone what that word means, they go, "Hey, Dad, what's this word mean?" Oh. Give them the quick definition of that word, and they may go back to reading, or they may go, I've wondered about that. I've heard that word before, and they might start up a conversation that may lead to something else later on down the road. I don't know. But it's cool when you give them that space, you give them that permission to talk to you, and it becomes about them. Another thing you can do, I said this in the first video, when you go on a trip with them, when you leave the driveway, you say, okay, turn your Bluetooth on, turn into my radio on the truck, and play the music you want to play. Now, I get that some of you are probably thinking, I hate, and hate's a strong word, but hate the music that they listen to. But here's the reason why it's important that you let them take control of the radio. Number one, that gives them the ability to know that, hey, I know Dad doesn't like my music, but he's letting me run the radio. And they might laugh at it and might enjoy it for a little bit, but it'll click eventually that, hey, Dad cares about me. But here's the other thing. When that kid was over there and he is rapping or singing at the top of his lungs, which is awesome because he's comfortable with you. People don't sing at the top of their lungs in vehicles until they're comfortable with the person sitting next to them. When that happens, that's cool, but then you're going to hear him all over the words verbatim. Now you know stuff that's getting into his heart and into his mind. And that is huge for you to know how to interact with him. You can do this. Have those conversations and let it happen naturally. Give it time. They're not going to be chatterboxes unless they already are, but generally they're not. And I know that you can do it.